What's up, guys? Somebody's Gun here. I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about how I approach the game. I have about 15 minutes of gameplay here to give you some insights as to how I look at the game and how I try and approach getting a win, because I know we're all trying to get some dubs. I dropped 13 kills in this clip, so it should be some pretty good entertainment for you guys. Um, Just a heads up, I recently switched my edit controls, so bear with me. I changed my sprint button or left stick to edit, and now it's run always on. I changed that setting as well. My gameplay is not the smoothest, but hope it's entertaining for you. Since then, I've gotten better with my edits, and I would definitely suggest changing your edit key to one of the sticks. It's definitely improved my gameplay, so if you're trying to improve yours, I would suggest that. But we'll talk about that in another video here. In this video, we're going to focus on one of the main aspects of the game. I'm not going to talk too much about the physical aspects of play, or like actually pressing the buttons and things like that. More about the mentality and strategy I use when playing. I'll be posting other videos about the other aspects of the game, but today we're going to focus on positioning. As you can see, I just got super lucky right there. That guy could have easily pumped me for slightly more damage, and I'd be dead. But another aspect of Fortnite is luck. It's RNG, that's how the game is, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good. To start, we'll cover some basics here. So in positioning, high ground is key. I can't talk enough about how important it is to have high ground on your opponent. It's easier to hit headshots, you have better visibility of the person you're trying to kill and your surroundings. You also have better cover if you're higher above. You can more easily hide underneath or back in your base if you're looking over a ramp down onto someone. That being said, don't die because you build too high. A lot of people get caught up in just building up and up and up, and you can drop down right below and easily knock someone down if you're in the middle of a build fight. So in this clip, I've heard someone fly in here, and I'm trying to determine where they are with sound. I finally figure out that this guy is above me, and here's a good example of what to do when someone has high ground. Now you can either try and build above them while hiding in your builds and taking each level as you can get it, or, as I like to do, put a layer in between us and make them make a move. Often people will drop down and give you a free or easy shotgun shot when they fall, like this guy does. It's not foolproof. It's what I like to do in most situations. Sometimes you can build up and beat someone high ground, so I'll tend, like I said, to grab the high ground if possible. The next facet of the game I want to talk about is your physical location on the map. So let's go ahead and speed this up. When trying to determine where to move on the map, you should think of three things. One, rotations, so where are people coming from and going to. The low spots on the map as well as the high spots, where are your vulnerabilities, where can you easily pick people off, and then also high traffic areas. There's a few places on the map that I'll speak about later, and generally you'll see a lot more people than other parts of the map. Okay, let's look at the map here. So the way I think about it is that the river splits the map down the middle. Essentially, you're going to have to wind up on one side or the other. On rare occasions, you have to deal with a final circle that's either in the middle or goes from one side to the next. My suggestion would be to avoid the river at all costs. Obviously, you can't do that in every game, so when you do have to cross the river, cross as quickly as possible or use mobility such as a vehicle, jump pad, or rift to go to move across. Obviously, that's not always possible, and there are safe times to cross the river, but you are a sitting duck sitting down there. So let's use this game as an example. Right now I'm in the low ground of Loot Lake. On the right side, or the west side, there's going to be mountains and people coming out of Pleasant, Snobby, Soccer, things like that. On the other side, I'm going to have to worry about people rotating from the new part of the map, as well as coming from retail, what I call Death Mountain, Salty, and Dusty. What I do here is I use mobility to put myself on one of these mountains, and while I'm heading over there, I see someone on one of these mountains and I engage. Not my best engagement, but I do wind up winning it, so let's see how this works out. I tried to be smooth and grab the high ground here with the hoverboard. It didn't pay off. Now I have to fight this fight from the low ground. I play it safe, build undercover, and let this guy make a move like I mentioned earlier in the video. We wind up getting third partied here, which winds up to help me. The enemy or the third party is sniping at both of us, and you always have to be prepared to protect yourself from third party engagements. There's no rules against it. I'm not going to say third partying is a bad thing. It's part of Fortnite, so you always have to be prepared. I go ahead and take the high ground here, and then he uses a jump pad to get back on me, do a good bit of damage. Once he's above me, I try and pull a slick move and edit him back down by breaking down the walls. That doesn't wind up working out, but luckily he misses his shotgun shot, and now I have high ground and full health. Here's a good example of how positioning matters. So, you remember we were getting third partied by someone over to the west of us. I don't know where he is, I'm trying to locate him, and I know he has a sniper, but we don't know how good he is nor his actual location. After failing to locate him, I decide to go grab the hoverboard, use my mobility, and go search him out myself. Now, I probably should have stayed up on the hill, played it safe, because I don't know where anyone else besides this one guy is, and I don't even really know where this one guy is. But again, it pays off, and sometimes better be lucky than good in Fortnite. So let's watch this engagement. I immediately go ahead, start building up, and grab the high ground. And as soon as we both start building, another third party sniper shot comes in. So we know there's someone watching us, which again, we must be careful of. This poor guy gets way too caught up with trying to take high ground on me and leaves himself very vulnerable to getting knocked. Once I knock this guy, I go and grab his loot, and to be honest, I don't play this too smart. I know there was someone sniping at us, but I didn't think that he would be that close. And honestly, we all get a little loot hungry once we see the loot on the ground. So I probably should have stayed up high ground and tried to locate this guy. I finally do locate him, and then we engage. So what I do here is an important example of positioning. I understand that the zone is about to close and there's not many people left. You need to find one of the best spots in the game regarding the height of the spot as well as location in the circle. Typically it's not great to be in the middle of the circle and you want to stay towards the edge. That's not always true because there may be a lot of people coming in from outside the zone, but typically the edge will be safer than the outside of the zone. So I'm looking out towards this guy from inside zone. Now I can block him off from getting in. We get a nice easy kill here with this guy trying to do, I don't even know what he was trying to do. He just sits there in the bush and lets me shoot him. And I meant to say earlier, the edge of zone or the edge of the circle is safer than the middle of the circle, not outside of the zone. The middle of the circle is typically a high traffic area and going to be contested. As the zone comes in, I look for the guy that was shooting at us previously. I wind up losing him. I have no idea where he went. So once the zone closes and determines where we need to go next, it's time to start making moves to put us in the next good position. This next zone winds up being right to the south of Tilted, as well as including some of the buildings in Tilted. So I immediately go ahead, build up, drop a launch pad, and try and get on that hill. This is going to be a key play as I move forward. Now I know this hill is going to be contested, but I believe it is important to grab the high ground. That way I can have control of the game and people have to play through me. I don't have to worry about someone coming from any direction. I will be able to see from left and right. And I always try and build near a cliff face, so it's much harder to build up and creep up on someone. I meet a friend up here who was way too busy sniping to understand that someone was popping him right in the face. Thankfully, I get this kill and I hear someone else coming in. This kid does not appear to be very good, but I don't have my guns in the right place, so I panic. I try and build up as quickly as possible to reset myself and regather my thoughts. Again, we maintain high ground to give us control over the situation. We can easily see the surrounding areas and see where people are around us. We know that someone's underneath us, but we'll be able to hear them if they're coming over. And if I don't build up like that, I don't get a hit a snipe. Bang, bang. The goal here is pretty simple. Keep the high ground and try and locate the 5 other opponents. Once you have them located, it can help you understand what your next moves are, because say 3 people are concentrated in one area, you probably want to avoid that or start picking people off. So I locate 3 people. There's 3 people in the north to east quadrant. Then there's also going to be that one person behind me that the guy I sniped was engaged with, so I have to be prepared for him to come push me. The person to my southwest doesn't appear to want any sort of interaction or engagement with me. He is perfectly fine with just getting in the zone and chilling. Once I see that, I don't try to push him further. I try and continue to screw with the people in the northeast quadrant. I have the highest ground in the remaining circle, so I know that no one's going to be shooting me from above. I'm pretty confident I know where everyone is and play this a little arrogantly, to be honest. Once the zone starts moving in, I know I have some mobility with that launch pad, so I'm going to try and put myself in the prime position to win this game. It looks like Trump building is going to be the highest building left in zone, so I'm going to try and hop up there. I failed to grab the high ground, so now it's time to play the low ground warrior. I know this is still going to be pretty active with 5 people remaining, and we get right into it with some shotgun fights with people. I actually wind up getting that guy who was over southwest, and I wound up getting him with my trap I placed up there. I was not expecting that, but you know, it worked out. Quick pump to the face or the chest for this guy, and let's go ahead, box ourselves in, understand our surroundings. There's 2 people left. So I placed down a bunch of roofs, walls, floors to try and gain as much control of the build around me as possible. I could obviously do more here, but with only 3 people left, it's not super important to have every single piece of wall. I'm just going to try and gain as much as I can while I can gain an understanding of where the other 2 people are so I can proceed from there. One of the guys is just hiding right in the bathroom in this building. He winds up being a scrub. It doesn't make for a great clip or even great way to share my knowledge. I just trap him, he doesn't move, and that's that. And now it's a simple 1v1. I know the guy's above me up on Trump Tower, so I'm going to go ahead and move to a position where I can see what he's doing and what he plans to do. I obviously have to be careful of zone and move accordingly, but let's try and get this dub here. I knocked his floor out, so then we're on the same playing field. He throws down a jump pad, and now it's time to chase. He's going for the right play there, or what I would try and do is go straight to that hill where I was earlier in the game, because that's where high ground's going to be, and he will have the advantage. And I am super upset with myself. I completely missed my pump shot, and I lose the game. That should have been an easy, nice 14 kill dub, but I lost. You can't win them all. Thanks for watching. Please check out my Instagram at somebody's gun and subscribe for more videos like this.